baby, baby, child. Breaking news. They said Offset just got clapped in Hollywood, Florida by the Hard Rock Cafe Casino. Offset from the Migos just got touched up in Florida. Baby, 3XL3, who knows what's good? Offset just got clapped in Hollywood, Florida by the Hard Rock Cafe Casino. Sheesh. These rappers don't learn, man. They want to be in the mix of drama. Somebody done touch Offset up. They said he's recovering. Ain't really know. They reached out to the his team for a comment. So why you never in the studio anymore? I don't know, man. I don't be having the motivation, the ambition. I should go up there. That boy be getting all the news super early. That's how I used to be. That's how my last channel blew up. Keys to Success. I used to be on everything immediately. I did everything from the phone. It happened. I'm there all over it, like white on rice in the heartbeat. 2 minute lights. The evening was good. So remember you had it with that other guy. So remember y'all had it with that other guy 6 times. What other guy? But yeah, man. Offset got clapped. So I guess we gotta wait and find out what this is about. Streets need a body, man. We got some jokers locked up. Now they need a body. YouTube needs a body, man. Cujo 340 was good. YouTube needs a body. I think it was your cut. Oh, you talking about the Shooting the Spit podcast? Oh yeah. We need to get back to that. Stuff was going on. Got sidetracked. One thing led to another. My one cousin passed away at the same time. It was actually his sister, my cousin's sister. A lot was going on, so we got sidetracked, and then we never got back to it. But yeah, Offset clapped in Florida, Hollywood, Florida. He probably just got touched up a little bit, probably a little grazed, a little nothing major, probably. You know what I mean? I guess we'll find out. That's the breaking news. Ain't much more to say about it because they didn't really say nothing else about it. Speaking of YouTube needs a body, you ever find out what happened to the Sin City guy who crashed out? Nah. I wonder what happened to him. I'm sure he's locked up, I guess, right? He got grabbed up. What did he do? Killed that dude and his girlfriend, right? Or killed his girl and shot him or something crazy? Yeah, YouTube needs a body, man. Need a couple bodies out here for YouTube. It's dry. It ain't dry. There's a lot going on, but stuff's become so repetitive. Yeah, dude crashed out, man, in Las Vegas, I think it was, right? Damn. But yeah, baby, Offset got touched up, man. It's crazy how no one is talking about the F5. Yeah, it just went away. This thing at Iran just took it. It all went away. Society is just, and me personally, there was people saying that this was a distraction from the Epstein files. I don't believe that because I believe a whole different thing. But whether it was or not, the fact of the matter it is, like you said, it went away. People just that shit just died right on out. That just shows you how much grip the media has over people's minds, man. And don't nobody care anyway at the end of the day. Everybody, the kids, the this, the that, nobody don't give a damn about. Everybody just want to get excited for the moment and go back and do what they was doing on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody really care about nothing any damn way. It probably was a test of our temperatures. It probably was just taking people's temperature, see where we're at in society. So yeah, they're so far gone that we can do anything at this point right in front of them, and that's it. Just pass right over. I ain't heard about an Epstein file in a couple of weeks. I think it's crazy, man. Right before this war, it was every day. people coming out with all type digging way down deep into the files. They just let it go. It's gone. Epstein files is no more. But yeah, that's about it. Offset got touched up in Florida, in Hollywood, Florida, by the Hard Rock Cafe Hotel Casino. It says. I guess it's messed up that it's him though, being as though was it Quavo? Not Quavo. Who's the one that Takeoff got killed? So that would be kind of messed up if Offset was to get bodied. Plus Offset, I'm riding with Offset right now. Cardi B did all that shit to him, tried to play him, went over there and didn't do nothing. But I ain't trying to play Cardi B. I'm just saying she made a terrible choice trying to flex on Offset. Went over there and became baby mama number 10 or something like that for no goddamn reason. Everybody she picked. Oh, and people were saying, it's funny how Stefan's name backwards is Offset. I thought that shit was funny. At first it was Russia and UK, then the F-Files and the war. Now it's about to be now. Yeah, to the moon. That story is just developing. I'm sure there's going to be something probably major is going to come along with that. Maybe they're going to say that. Maybe they're going to act like they've seen an alien up there. So there's going to be something with it. Then I found out they're not even going to step onto the moon. They're just going to drive by the moon, allegedly anyway. So the world's the Truman Show. That's funny. Somebody just hit me today with a thing about the Truman Show. It was wasn't about the actual movie, but it was how the girl was talking about how they be paying actors to be in certain spots, like just you go to like a luxury store or something like that. People were paid to be in there to look important, so you can feel like that's the vibe, so you believe it. Stuff like that. How people are paid to be in elevators, all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And the other day, I was talking about on Facebook the other day. I went to get an oil change last week. It was a express Valvoline, like a drive-through one. When I got there was 5 people in front of me. When I got there, so I had to wait in line for 5 people. The whole time I was there, don't you know that nobody pulled in behind me the whole time? Not a single person pulled in behind me the whole time I got my oil change done. So I got there was 5 people in front of me. Nobody pulled in behind me. So I said, I was like, I don't know if I'm early or late, but that's that Truman Show type shit. You know what I'm saying? Jokers paid to be places. Said, been following you for years and you put me on to the gematria and you taught your kids that that's what's up. Yeah, I ain't mess with gematria in a minute. I haven't been mess with none of the stuff on YouTube in a minute. Once they demonetized my channel and stuff, and then plus, and now we see people like me, we wasn't bullshitting. All this shadow ban shit I've been talking about for all these years, from my last channel to shut me down. All this shit I've been talking about, not just me, but people like me, all this shit we've been talking about has come out in these goddamn Epstein files. Whether it's real or not, I'm not saying it starts and stops with Epstein. There's more to it than that, but I'm just saying all this shit came out now and has come out. So yeah, we weren't bugging. I'm not bugging. People like, and I was one of the people with this conspiracy shit way before a lot of people was doing it. I was showing my face doing it. And I was putting dots together that people wasn't putting together. So as far as I'm concerned, I was like in the forefront of the conspiracies. That everybody else was regurgitating shit. I was actually finding stories, you know what I'm saying? Connecting dots that wasn't connected before. Shit like that. They'll deal with people that's regurgitating shit. They'll blow them up, blow the channel up, pay them money, but they don't want people who's actually connecting real dots. That's the people that they worried about. People like me. I ain't trying to toot my own horn. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to toot my own horn, but anybody that was there to see it from back then, we talking more than 10 years ago at this point. You know what I'm saying? And like somebody said earlier, I was breaking news immediately. Shit was happening. I was on it, putting shit together quick. Everybody doing with it. I was on my phone. I had a video up. Something come out 3 minutes. I'm on that shit. It's on YouTube already. And I was showing my face. You know what I'm saying? The first one out. I was one of the first ones talking conspiracy shit, showing my face. I'll tell you that. A lot of people were just talking with a picture or behind some images. The first one that came out here showing my face, talking crazy. You know what I'm saying? And now all this shit coming out. I told y'all years ago, a lot of the shit I was talking about, they stole my shit and other people's, made shows like Stranger Things, Altered Carbon. What was it called? Yeah, Altered Carbon. Those type of shows. What's the other one? Black Mirror episodes, like shit like that, man. Took our content, terminated our channels, shut our shit down. Then my shit started popping up, all this cloning shit. And I mean, not that I'm the first person to ever talk about it, but people like me made this shit. If nothing else, people like me made conspiracy content profitable. People like me showed that it was profitable, if nothing else. Now I want to make it sound like it was all about the money. 'Cause back then, I didn't know about. I came into YouTube. I didn't even know about the money aspect of it. I was just talking from shit I was already into. Back then, I was hustling. I was in the street. Every dime I made, I was all I did with my life was hustle. So I had all the time in the world to think about whatever I wanted to think about. I wasn't tied to no job. I was surviving from street money since I was a teenager. So I had all the time in the world to just, when people was at work, I was able to be at home looking up shit, watching shit, researching shit that didn't make just anything. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was so on top of shit. I had so much time. I had so much free time on my hands because I was making quick money, so I didn't have to be nowhere. And I got caught up in that. I was down that rabbit hole. Once I went down that rabbit hole, boy, I had all day to sit there and fuck with that shit. That's why I was on top of everything. Every little crevice, I was in it. Some shit was bogus. I followed and chased every motherfucking thing I thought was something. I was on it. You know what I'm saying? George Bush, the family. All I was in. I was in all. I did all that shit way back then, man. A lot of these jokers now is Johnny come lately. You know what I'm saying? Now you got 10-year-old kids on TikTok and all these jokers regurgitating shit that people like me was saying fucking 10 years ago, making all this money. But they shadow ban people like me because they don't want no original people with original ideas and original content. You know what I'm saying? They want they want copycats because if you just regurgitating shit, you ain't thinking hard enough to really, you know what I'm saying, come up with nothing. So Jada Pinkett on the bus joint, Stanchie. Yeah, that shit blew me up too. Yeah, shit like that I was putting together. People wasn't, you know what I'm saying? That's the kind of stuff that you can't regret. That's the kind of stuff that I came up with. You know, people now I ain't gonna say people do got some good content. I ain't gonna front. There's some people on TikTok I be seeing some next level shit. Like I seen the other day this dude it's not TikTok. I think he makes his videos on TikTok, but I saw it on Facebook, which is this one dude. I can't think of his name. He was showing how Jim Carrey was playing a part of Joe Biden. And yo, he had this part of Dumb and Dumber when Jim Carrey was walking up the steps and fell up the steps on Dumb and Dumber, like falling all goofy and shit, and put it next to Joe Biden going up the steps on Air Force One and falling down. That part and another part with Jim Carrey and it was a different movie. What was it? The Mask, maybe it was another movie Jim Carrey was in, and he was going up some steps, and it was the same exact posture. Joe Biden is a separate clip. The one was Dumb and Dumber was a replica of that of Joe Biden falling up the steps one time in the plane. Then it was a separate one of Joe Biden going up a plane with Jim Carrey in another movie. And yo, everything was identical. His arms, the way he walked, like the way his arms moved. And I was like, yo, because that shit was like they copied this shit right out the movie. It was like an actual thing from the movie. It was like undeniable. I was like, oh shit. So there's some people out here now that got some next level stuff. I ain't gonna lie. But a lot of these jokers out here are just fraudulent. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that Jada thing put me off. I peeped that. I noticed that pattern on there, and I seen the whole thing of what it was. Her leaving on buses. You know what I'm saying? And Minister Society, she couldn't even get a chance to leave. Jason's lyrics left on that bus, set it off. She left on that bus. Um, Tales from the Crypt Demon Knights left on the bus, had the demon's blood. Shit like that. You got to think outside the box to put shit like that together. You know what I'm saying? The average person out here talking about conspiracies don't even think like that. Then I showed this shit with the Beyonce, the fear ritual at the Grammys, where her falling back. If you remember, she leaning back pregnant with that thing. I told people that was a fear ritual. You know what I'm saying? Put that together. Now they're talking about um, this adrenochrome and stuff like that, and how you got to have your people. But that might have been out back then. But I was talking about how the Beyonce thing was that. That's how you conjure up fear. You know what I'm saying? Your blood got to be to a fear ritual. You gotta fake kidnap somebody, hold them hostage, and let them go, They think they're getting away, so the blood start pumping. Then you catch them again, and you kill them right away. That's how you get the best blood for that kind of ritual. You know what I'm saying? And I put people on the shit like that, the blood moon sacrifices, all that kind of shit, the gematria. I didn't bake the gematria up. I got that from Zachary K. Hubbard, but I did not put my own twist to it. A whole bunch of shit, man. Oh yeah, Chicago drill thing with the cheat. Yeah, I meant to make a part two, that I never got around to it. I had a couple of Nika Jenkins videos too. Ended up on World Star, two of them organically. Like I didn't have to pay for it or nothing. I had a couple. Damn, I had a couple. I'm gonna drop my phone. I had a couple classics, man. The Obama's kids. Not Obama. The Obamas too, but Jackson's kid. I talked about how she had a child she hid from Chico DeBarge. That one blew up a lot. All my Kanye shit was blowing up. I'm the first person that said Kanye was kidnapped by the Illuminati. I said that shit. I'm the one that said that shit first. Then that shit blew up. I said that first. He was kidnapped by the Illuminati, and then that's when that shit came out like that, and everybody ran with that. Every Kanye video I was doing was getting at least 50,000. I made a lot of money off Kanye. I ain't gonna lie. I made thousands off Kanye. I made a couple dollars off Kanye, and I was tapped in with Kanye, like as far as mentally, I was there with him. I made the name Rain Man up. You could look this shit up, even on this channel. I think still. Then he went out and called himself the Rain Man and rap on Drink Champs, like 10 years later, whatever it was. I made that shit up. Then he started calling himself that. I got some shit, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I got a couple classics under my belt, man. I got a couple classics, man. But yeah, they went and terminated my shit. You know what I'm saying? It's about to be revealed these jokers are not human. I'm sure that's gonna have to come out at some point. That's what I said. They going to the moon. They might act like they discover some aliens and all this shit gonna come out. On Facebook, I put the day before they announced the alien shit. Trump was like, "We're gonna disclose the aliens." The day before that, I said if the Anunnaki pops up in the Epstein files, that's when you better start panicking. The next day, Trump comes out talking about aliens. 2 weeks later, we at war. And they walking us into this war thing is, of course, is a cover for something else. And I told people, I've been telling people on Facebook, I don't know if I put it on here. I said this whole thing with ICE. I said this ICE shit. I said, and I got the post up on Facebook. I said, this ICE is not. This shit is not about immigration. I said this shit is that's starting it out with immigration. That's not where this shit is ending up back. ICE is gonna be something. What I really was saying is, on Facebook, I don't say all the shit I say on here because Facebook is like family and friends and shit like that. People ain't ready. You know what I'm saying? I don't talk to people that I know in real life. I talk on here on YouTube. So a couple people from Facebook in my real life see my YouTube, one or two couple people, whatever, but certain shit on Facebook because it ain't different content is for different platforms. You know what I'm saying? But I put that on there. When I was saying to them on there, I was like, ICE looks like it's for immigration. That's not what this shit is about. ICE is going to become the new. I didn't say on there New World Order Police because I don't, like I said, but that's what I was talking about. And now they got ICE in the airports. You know what I'm saying? And I said something else, and it was like the next day again. This is a test run, putting ICE in airports. This is just the training and test runs. You know what I'm saying? And now they're still in the goddamn airport and TSA. Maybe I don't know if they still took them out yet or not, but. And I was telling people, this is something else I said about these warehouses. I said, it's strange how they spend all. I said, if you spend all this money on these warehouses for illegal immigrants, millions of dollars, if the whole objective is to send them out of the country, you only need to put them somewhere for a couple of days and put them on a plane and send their ass out of there. It don't make sense to spend all this money on these warehouses unless you're trying to house people there. And I don't think it's going to be the goddamn illegal immigrants. That's how they put all this stuff in position, talking about illegal immigrants. They got the ICE lined up in position, these warehouses lined up. Best believe when they say something happened from this war, like maybe it was on $100 bill. I think the bill is on the back of the bill. They showed the missile going into the water and the flood, just like the 20 and all that shit. The 10, whatever it was, showed the Pentagon and the Twin Towers. I think it's the 150. The back of that shows This is old at this point, but it shows a missile going into the water, and on the other side of it shows buildings and flooding. You can see on the bottom of the buildings, the reflection is a flood. So I'm thinking that's what they're going to use this Iran war shit, this so-called war, to put a missile out there, cause a flood. Probably New York or LA going to get wiped out, and then that's going to be then after that's going to be martial law to all this unrest. That's what these warehouses are for. When they come in with that shit, with ICE, the New World Order police, when they come in doing that shit, the people that's acting up against going against the system, that's what these warehouses is for. They talking about some of these warehouses can hold 10,000 people. What do you need to? Why would you need to make warehouses that hold 10,000 people for some illegal immigrants? It don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, what's the use of housing illegal immigrants here and feeding them and clothing them or whatever you got to do to spending money? What's the use of that? If you're supposed to be getting rid of them and sending them back to their country, put them on a plane, put them somewhere for a day or two, put them on a plane, send them out. So that's what I'm saying. They putting all this, they getting all this stuff in position under the guise of illegal immigrants and stuff like that. Really, this shit is for us when this shit hits the fan. That's my opinion. They got one of the warehouses out here where I'm at, like 20 minutes from me, 20, 30 minutes. Ain't that many illegal immigrants out, not that I know of, you know what I'm saying? Maybe in the whole area collectively, I guess you could say, but like I said, even then, if you're supposed to send them back, if the whole point is to send them to their country, what you spending all this money to house them for? It don't even make sense. But yeah, man, I went on like a little tangent, but I'm about to get up out of here. Like I said, the video is about, if you just came in, Offset from the Migos got clapped. He got shot in Hollywood, Florida by the Hard Rock Cafe Casino Hotel. Ain't much info about it at the moment. He just got hit, so I guess we'll find out details in a minute. Hit the like button before you get up out of there if you just came in here. Shout out to everybody that came through. Stay out of the way of these jokers. But yeah, about that thing about the them not being human. David Icke been on that, the reptilians and shit like that. And it only makes sense that the people who really run the world are not human. That's the only thing that really makes sense when you really think about it. You know what I'm saying? It has to be an entity that stays alive for way longer than humans do. That's really that. Everything about it just makes sense that the people, the entities or whatever that really run this world are not human. It doesn't make sense that humans would be running this world. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that came through. Hit that like button before you get up out of there. Wonder what they look like. Some of them probably just look like regular people. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure some of them are giants, like the Anunnaki and stuff like that. There's probably different variations of them. Just like the pyramids. The pyramids show you how they pretty much made humans. You know what I mean? Like out of clay or whatever. They came down here and breeded with probably cavemen, whatever was here. These Anunnaki, whatever it was, that made the regular humans. Yeah, they get shapeshift. I believe that. And all this technology, you got to think how fast. I'm about to be 45 years old in like a couple days. When I'm born in the 80s, so the amount of leap technology has taken from when I was a kid till now is astronomical. It's not. I won't even say from when I was a kid. I'll say pretty much from like 95, because it was going at a steady pace until about around the mid 90s. Then this shit just took off out of it and went way crazy. This technology. The technology shit they got been out in different societies. This shit they feed it to us because the problem I think they keep coming up with is they feed us technology to make it more efficient and convenient for them to control us, but then it always gets to the point probably where we get too much of a hold of it, then we can start fucking up the program. You know what I'm saying? It's like they can't figure out a way to give us certain technology without us being able to get too much of a hold of it and then fucking up the program is what it seems like. You know what I mean? Because all the stuff they're doing now, they're coming out with this AI and all this stuff and these robots and shit like that. You got to think about it. That's why I say it makes sense that the people that run the world are not human. And the story of the Anunnaki makes more sense. I'm not saying that has to be the only real story, but it would make sense that the reason why they made humans is the mine gold. That's the story. They made humans to be able to get to dig the gold up for them because they can't do it themselves. They're too big or whatever. So if you're gonna make robots and AI take control of everything, work everywhere, control everything, what's the use of a human being at that point? All the jobs are going to be gone. They're going to be doing all the work. What work would they be doing, and who would they be doing it for if they wiping humans out of the whole story? You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense that whatever work that these AIs and these robots are going to be doing is work that they don't need humans for because humans are not needed in the equation. Like I said, if they need people to get gold in mine, they can have a robot do it now instead of a human. That would make sense because what I'm saying is that it don't make sense that they're cutting humans out of. I mean, they can't cut humans out of every single category of life because some shit you still need a regular human for. But even the parts that we know they're trying to replace us with doesn't make sense because what do they get out of taking humans out of their certain equations? To you know what I'm saying? It don't make sense. Yeah, like a permanent lockdown that could make sense. You know what I'm saying? To make us where they call it the something based income, UBI, universal based income or something like that. I think it's called. There's something going on with the atmosphere where they know that we're consuming too much and it's going to be destroyed anyway. Like, got to be something more to it because if you're going to take everybody's goddamn job, where everybody going to work at and buy the products that the robots are going to be making what for what then? If the robots take everybody's jobs, the work the robots are going to be doing, who's going to be able to buy this shit? Nobody got a job. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's still a big part of the shit that is not connecting. It's not adding up. There's like a big part we're still not seeing with this shit yet. Like underground, the dumbs, deep underground military bases, the underground bunkers, and shit's definitely been around. They say that's where Ghislaine Maxwell. They say she actually is from an underground city, just like the Matrix movie. I gotta get up out of there. But yeah, and I think lockdowns are definitely gonna come to at some point. Just they're gonna try to use the oil. I think oil crisis and stuff like. And this whole thing is now you got Trump talking about this morning. He put a tweet out talking about you bastards better open up the Hormuz good straight and all this stuff. And then they text back and said something like some smart. This is a big ass game. Like I always say, the only thing different about countries are the citizens. All these people, this shit is a big ass game. Name brand countries like U.S., Canada will become no name countries like the rest, vice versa. Eventually, because where else could it go? Especially they putting robots and shit out here. I mean, that shit don't make no sense, man. But yeah, I gotta get up out of here. I shit to do. Shout out to everybody that came through. Offset got touched up. YouTube needs a body. It's like, nah, but I'm out of there. Shout out to everybody that came through. Hit the like button before you get up out of there.